Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Premier League Fantasy Football and welcome to my video. In today's video, I want to have a little bit of fun and I want to look at some future transfer options. So I'm going to be looking at Game Week 2, Game Week 3, Game Week 4 and onwards because a lot of people are thinking to wildcard around that time. And you know, of course, we still got the international break to go through and players might go there and come back and might need to quarantine. That might cause a lot of problems. We still got the transfer window open. So yeah, there's a lot of things to look towards to. And I want to be prepared and I want to help out and give you guys suggestions. That is all really. But anyways, if you are new to the channel, you guys know what to do. Please do subscribe because I'm going to be posting a lot of videos this season. And drop a like on the video. When this video gets up to about 200 likes, it kind of basically motivates me to do more. Anyways, let's continue with the video. So as you can see, I removed all of my players, and don't worry, I'm not going to be confirming this or, you know, adding random players in. But I want to first let's just look at some fixtures. Okay, let's just have a look at some fixtures. So as you can see, I'm going to just change this. Hang on, guys. So we're just going to go with the flow. I'm going to go with the flow in this video. So this is from a Fantasy Football Hub. So if you want to become a Fantasy Football Hub member, there'll be a link in the description below. Okay. So I'm just gonna like change the game weeks here. So we are at what, game week 2, and we're looking at game week 3. Okay. But what I want to do is basically change this and go and look at game week 4. I don't know, let's just range to game week 7, right? And you can see here that Manchester United is on top of this list. This shows like at least game week 4, 5 and 6. You can see that Manchester United has a fixture, a home fixture against Newcastle in game week 4. Great fixture for them to do really well in and give us a lot of FPL points. Then it's West Ham away, a little bit on the difficult side. Then it's Aston Villa at home. This is fantastic. So I'm thinking to myself, if people are thinking to wildcard in game week 4, well, they're going to go ahead and get players like Greenwood to get at least around 3 Manchester United players. So for me, I'm thinking to myself, if a lot of people are thinking to bring in players like Greenwood in to make up that 3rd Manchester United player, then I need to start bringing that player in because he's going to be highly owned in the next few game weeks. So these are the things I'm looking at and I think it's quite important. And you've got Wolves here. As you can see, Watford away might be a decent fixture for them. Who knows? Brentford away and Brentford at home and Southampton away. So decent fixtures there for Wolves and their fixtures has changed. So we might be looking at their defense and so on. Same with Leeds. Okay, they've got a difficult fixture at home against Liverpool, but then is Newcastle, then is West Ham at home, then is Watford in game week 7. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I guess I don't really need to bring in a Leeds player early on. Maybe later on I can bring them in. So, you know, I mentioned this on my team selection video that I'm thinking to bring in Rafinha in game week 3 against Burnley away. So basically, I'm bringing these players in because their fixtures are changing and I want to attack these fixtures. You got Watford there as well, you know, Ismail Sarr could be a great option. You got Everton's fixtures still looking good. Calvert-Lewin is there, Richarlison. As you can see there, a lot of people might think to wildcard in game week 4. I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe I might need to bring in Calvert-Lewin early. But the problem is, I don't have the space for him right now. So these are the things I'm looking at, guys. And I'm looking at it, I'm looking ahead because when I make a transfer, I'm thinking to myself, is this transfer worth it? So if I remove Barnes to Greenwood, it's worth it because I'm going to be needing Greenwood in the next few game weeks anyway. So, and if people are thinking to wildcard like in game week 4, they're definitely going to bring in Greenwood if he returns again. So these are the things that we need to be aware of because if we don't bring these players in and a lot of people change the whole team around, we might fall a little bit behind. And if we basically bring these players in beforehand and hold our wildcard, we're a little bit of ahead because we can use the wildcard after game week 7 and so on. Well, whenever you need really, but I'm just giving you guys an example. Defense here, as you can see, Arsenal is up here. I don't know why, but probably because of Norwich at home, and they got Crystal Palace like in game week 8 or something. An okay fixtures that they can do well, but I'm only looking at Tierney. So let's just change this up. Just have a quick look. Let's go like game week 8 to 9, 10, 11. Let's go to game week 12. Okay, you can see the table has completely changed. And then, as you can see, Southampton's defense and attack is up there. Let's just go. Should we do an overall? Let's do an overall one, right? Southampton looks good. Got Leeds at home, Burnley at home, Watford away, Aston Villa at home. Obviously, in that scenario, in that situation, we might not want any Southampton players, but you know, if I'm wildcarding in game week 8, I don't know, I might look at some Southampton players. Who knows? Chelsea is there. Number 2 in this list. You got Brentford away, Norwich at home, Newcastle away, Burnley at home. Great fixtures. So this is basically when I'm thinking to wildcard, because I'm thinking to bring in like Lukaku. And I might actually bring in Lukaku early. Who knows? Manchester City is there as well. Brentford, Aston Villa, their fixtures gets better. So these are the things that we need to look at. So we looked at the fixtures and I picked a bunch of players to talk about to kind of help you guys out in the next few game weeks. Now there's going to be some players here that you might need to bring in now. There's some players here that you might need to invest in the next few game weeks. So have a look at these. I'm just going to go through it. And here we go. So Tierney is on my radar. 5 million Arsenal defender, 7.5% owned. Okay, did not return, and I don't think it's going to return in the next 2. But later on is what I'm looking at. Most of our teams are kind of set for the next 3 game weeks. You know, to game week 3, and then in game week 4, we'll see how things are, right? To kind of adjust. But I'm definitely got Tierney on my radar. Cody could be a player that is going to be in our teams maybe because of the fixtures for Wolves after game week 3. Great fixtures there. Watford away, Brentford at home, Southampton away, Newcastle at home. Good fixtures for them to maybe do well in. And 4.5 might help out. You know, if we are if I was wildcarding, I would definitely think of to bring in a Wolves defender. And Cody's probably the only one that is nailed. Luka Dean is a player that we looked at early on, you know, conceded against Southampton, but the fixtures are still good for them to do well. And I'm looking at this block of fixtures there. Burnley at home, Aston Villa away, Norwich at home. Great fixtures for them to do well in. And so these are the things that we need to look at. You know, if I was wildcarding, I would definitely look at these defenders. Now, for like players to bring in right now, Saar could be to want to kind of go for 6 million. And people are still going to be looking at this player in game week 4 and onwards. So if you bring him early, maybe you might benefit later on as well. And his price might go up. So basically, it's like an investment, a great investment, to be honest with you. 6 million player, 4.7 scored in the first game. And if he gets another return, definitely his price will go up. Son, great player to bring in right now. There is no investment in this player. You just got to bring him in no matter who he plays against. Very good fixtures as well. I'm looking at him in game week 3 to kind of plan my transfers with that. Greenwood is a player to bring in right now, 7.5. I'm actually quite afraid of Greenwood doing really well. But as you can see, the ownership is 9%. So it's still low owned. And that means that it's not going to hurt us a lot. But he's a player that has the potential to do well. If Cavani is out for long term and he's not coming back, you know, he could be out for up to about game week 5. And Greenwood could be all good for these fixtures. So definitely a player to bring in now because a lot of people will be looking at him in the next few game weeks. Rafinha is a player that not everyone's looking at. but a lot of people had in their teams. And he is a player to bring in later on. And as you can see, a lot of people will be starting to bring him in. And I think that he will start to return. 6.5, 16.7% owned. So he's highly owned still. It's because people started with him. And if you started with him, I don't think you will remove him. I think you will keep. For me, I'm thinking to bring him into my team in game week 3. So I have a Leeds attacker. Ben Rama is on this list. 6.1% owned, 6.1 price tags, 9.9% owned. Just like Greenwood, a massive differential that could do really well in the next few game weeks. As you can see, scored a goal and assisted as well. 12 points from him. I looked at him because of his pre-season form. He looked really good. That's why he's in my team. But if you look ahead as well, if he continues to do well, if he gets a return in the next game week, a lot of people is going to be trying their best to get Benrahma into their teams because the next game is against Crystal Palace at home. And then you got Lukaku is a player that we need to watch out for. As you can see, 12.5% owned. Now, I think he will play against Arsenal and Liverpool and so on. But I think the best time for us to kind of bring him in is in game week 4. Great home fixture. Then we can set our teams up. You know, if we are thinking to wildcard around that time, we can bring him in, you know, remove players like Danny Ings. I think right now it might be too soon, even though if he does well, I think there are so many other players that he's going to do well anyway. And we kind of set our teams up. So I don't want to go ahead and break it, but we've got to watch out for him. And Calvert-Lewin, or let's just say Richarlison, is the player that we need to start bringing in because a lot of people will be getting Everton players around this time. So these are the players that I want you guys to watch out for, players to kind of invest in, players to bring in right now. Okay, I hope that this video has helped you. A lot of big differentials here to kind of help us out. A lot of players to look ahead as well. As you can see here, I kind of picked a mixed up players to bring in right now, players to invest in a couple of weeks time, players to look at around game week 4 and onwards. So a lot of good options here. Watch out for them. And that is pretty much it. I don't know if I'm going to create a video on a Friday, guys. All I'm going to say is if you don't see me on a Friday, good luck. Enjoy your game week. Hopefully we can all get a green arrow and we can come back on a Sunday afternoon and talk about it. Okay? Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining. Please do subscribe if you're new and drop a like in the video as it helps my channel out a lot. Let's see if we can get up to about 200 likes. That will be fantastic. See you later, guys. See ya.